so
Yeah,
far,
yes,
right? I mean, they
exactly.
haven't taken losses, right? And that's the thing. Like, that's kind of what I think a lot of viewers and fans expect of a team like Liquid. You're like, okay, look, they're a powerhouse team, they're really good, but they're still going through a lot of learning curves too. Despite their results, I mean, they still have some bumps that they have to figure out. Despite this roster, and it's a pretty beefy roster
I mean,
indeed.
yeah, you got Cadian, Yekindar, Twists. I mean, like, it's a pretty stacked. I only
Yeah,
named 3 players, and it's already like, whoa, are you kidding me? Like, that is a ridiculous roster. I can't believe Cadian is on Liquid. I still
I
can't
know.
believe that Heroic managed to completely fumble the bag so much with
I know.
Cadian. I mean, he's a franchise player that you can't let go, and they did. And well, Liquid is the beneficiaries of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, for Liquid, I think this is great too because, like you said, you got Naf and Twist and players like that. So it's such an interesting combination. We'll get to see them a little bit later on here, and that's what makes them so exciting. M80 is going to be on this T side though. Wildcard do get to have that nice old CT side. Sonic with a good jump spot. He gets a lot of information, so he is going to retreat this because there is a lot of people coming for him.
M80 taking their time so far. This is definitely a map that they are more comfortable on than Mirage, which they haven't really played lately. I think, and having watched M80 play on Inferno over the last little bit, it might be that Inferno's becoming their new permaban because it was just bad. It was honestly getting to a point where it was just like, okay, they're playing Inferno, they're going to lose this map. Like, they're going to play 3 maps.
And the thing is too, for a map like this on Vertigo, I mean, this is a really strong amount of CT% win rate and even their T side. Like, we're talking like 60%, over 60% on both sides. So this is what makes them really scary. And now we're going to start to see the executes coming into the site. Good nades coming through, just taking this really slow, John. And I like this. So now Wildcard, they're just going to allow that site to go in their favor. So they're just going to go for the retake. This is a good setup right now, considering what's happening.
Oh, those nades are so good. And M80 baited them out too, right? Malbs fakes the plant, backs off, the nades come through. Mangs gets the opening frag, in fact, and a great flashbang toss forward to give that peek and frag to Swisher. 5v3 in favor of M80. Slight continues to fight away, and it is pistol round. These advantages can quickly disappear. There's one for JBA. Stanislaw looking for the follow-up, but it's not going to come for him. In fact, it's 2 for M80. Only JBA left. Tapping heads. Sees Manx around the corner. JBA playing ring around the rosy, but he is not going to be the one to find the frag, or likely this round now, because time is just ticked away. I can't believe it took that long for someone to die in that situation, but there you go. slaxz gets it.
It's like Duck Duck Goose, right? They're just running around. You got to get me, it's crazy. He even got a reload in that whole, amount of fighting too. Like, that was just insane. But man, again, going back to a point you made, and it's such a great detail, because I talked about Wildcard playing that retake, and I was like, yeah, I like this setup. The utility was there. And then they went for, the nade stack to take down the planter. But M80, they knew exactly what was going on, and they faked that plant, which is such an important detail, because then they knew exactly what to expect, and they can have a way better post-plant situation. And we got to see it there.
Yeah, not forgetting that if Malbs sticks that plant, he's dead. Like, those nades take him out, no question. So yeah, very impressive stuff from M80. Had the read on what Wildcard wanted to do and played the counter strat to perfection. So now we're looking at Wildcard, who decide, okay, well, let's force up. Let's try to get this done. Infinite's got enough to get an A1S in his hands, and we've got him with a smoke and a nade around it. Everyone else on pistols, and they're stacking up towards the safe site. They do leave one player lurking around that B site. It's Stanislaw. Right now he's on boost spot, but it looks like he's going to fall off. In the meantime, though, M80 are going to walk into the stack. Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is scary. I mean, this is a good gamble from Wildcard. I mean, just doing the, the multiple player stack on this, I love this. But this is terrifying for any M80 fans right now, because again, and now they actually pull back on this. I love it. I don't know. They had a, spidey sense or something. They're like, you know what? Something seems a little wrong here, John. And we're going to just reset this. We're just going to make a new plan on this one. And look at that now. You can see they're grouping up, getting ready into main. They're going to be able to execute into this, and they're just going to take it in full force.
That's one thing that M80 is so good on Vertigo, is they don't try to force the issue. They take their time. They kind of feel their way around the map, and they go off instinct sometimes. And this call was purely instinctual. Like you said, a gut feeling that they couldn't go towards A, and that's where the stack was going to be, and it was absolutely correct. Smokes gets popped here by Wildcard. Swisher peeks around the corner. Oh my, he's going to feast here. One, maybe the second. There it is. 5v2. Sonic has to get out of here. He says, look, I invested into a rifle in this round. Cannot lose that, and he won't. Slight, probably insurance policy for him to kind of guard that M4 and make sure it doesn't get lost. As it stands, M80 off to a really good start.
Such a good read, though. Like you said, I mean, when a team is this composed on a map, they feel very comfortable. We saw that, you know, they knew that there was something a little bit wrong. And I love that gut feeling and just kind of resetting and taking it as a full team, not having lurk, not the risk of losing a weapon. So this was a really good play from M80. They should be able to survive with everybody. And I mean, there is that one rifle here from Sonic, but yeah, this is good for M80 because now they still have the Galils, and we're going to have to see what they want to do with this. They're going to have full utility. And the money, John, it's not really great here for Wildcard because, I mean, they put a lot of investment into it.
Yeah, I mean, look, Sonic is going to get that A1S in his hands. But outside of that, they do have to be careful with their economy here and make sure that they stay above the 2K mark. Slaxz just saving for the op, so he's going to stay at 3.5. And yeah, they're going to hope again that the M4 is enough to take down M80. And once more, because they're more limited in terms of what they've purchased up here, they stack up on the A site, leaving only Stanislav with a USP on B. We'll see if M80 get the read again and realize this is what's happening. Pop flash thrown for malbs. Malbs doesn't really see much off of it. But again, I mean, biding their time, yes.
And I was going to say Infinite, like, actually jiggling this too. I mean, it might be a potential giveaway that there could be multiple just because he's that one player peeking, and it's kind of like baiting them in, like, oh yeah, come back for more, and like, let's see what you want to find here. But I mean, look again, M80, instead of, you know, pushing towards ramp, they're just, again, re-aggressing into mid now, getting some different control, just investigating. They're just getting a lot of information and taking this with a lot of slow and methodical play, and I really like it. And now Wildcard, they're going to back off the stack and they're going to reposition themselves.
M80 in the meantime. Oh, Infinite spotted one out. I think Infinite's going to call his teammates back saying, hey guys, please come back to this site. You're gone. I'm alone. And he's still alive somehow, even though bullets are continuing to rain down upon him. Eventually retreats, but that's enough time for Wildcard to readjust themselves and maybe go for the flank. This is super cheeky because M80 have played so slowly that Wildcard could in fact catch them off, and that M4 becomes so important here. Swisher's watching for it. Now he won't be. So this is the gap that they were hoping for, and there it is. Stan gets one. Sonic finds the second, and Sonic can even get a third for his team. No, gets dropped. Slight manages to find the trade. It's back and forth here. 3v2, and now a 3v1. The USPs again are singing true for Wildcard.
There's
2
only 10
frags
seconds
with them. malbs at 16 HP, and now at 0. Infinite finds it. Another eco-round victory for Wildcard at a critical juncture.
All right, well, I'm just going to say here, John, I think I caster cursed them right there because I was like, yeah, M80, they're doing great, man. They're getting info. They're taking it slow. Yeah, a little too slow, though. But this is, again, that's what we talked a lot about here so far in the series is that Wildcard, they adapt to situations. And the fact that they, like, fell off that, went through mid, down to ladder, and went for that flank, that was perfectly executed. Yeah. I mean, Rek was in a tough position where he was, but, I mean, he did a good job, but it just wasn't enough. And, he's going to get a little redemption.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Stanislav might get spotted before that smoke popped and just lines up the shot and finds it. Sonic could be exposed here too, had the utility in his hands. Now he's got the rifle out, but he gives away a spot and more util. Uh-oh, Sonic, you can't do that twice and get away with it. 5v3 in favor of M80 are going to take this A site and even more out of the hands of Wildcard, with Infinite being their latest victim. Slight pops the smoke. And it almost yields him a frag, but M80 at this point, I think they've got it.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to hunt on this, really, in my opinion. Like, I think for them to keep these guns alive, make sure they don't lose anything, that's important. I mean, it would be great if they can drop this op here from Slight, but, I mean, right now, Wildcard, they're just, you know, pushing back, trying their best to save this. M80 are taking a bit more of a slower stance to maybe find them. But, I mean, if Wildcard can find these 2 guns to convert for the next round, that's going to be so important. I mean, the money's low, but at least, you know, Infinite does have 29, Stanislav with 28, so they could force up and kind of, you know, try to complement those rifles as much as possible. It'll be interesting to see what they want to do, but Love that execute from M80. Not really messing around here, John. They kind of just, you know, went with it.
Yeah, they just went in and they won the fights. It was a very quick hit, typical quick A ramp hit on Vertigo, and it works out for them. And they had played so slowly in the previous 3 rounds that I don't think Wildcard were expecting that quick 1-2 punch, and it came through. So good job on M80. Wildcard at least saved those 2 guns that yield them that full-on buy like you were talking about. So we're going to see 4 M4s again and the AWP for Slight. And we'll see if M80 decides to go for another quick hit. I'd be surprised if they do, though. I'm pretty sure they're going to go back to that slow, methodical play that they're known for here on Vertigo.
Yeah, I can definitely pan out well, but we'll have to see if they want to change up the play style a little bit, because we saw that from Wildcard, right? On the first map, they were mixing things up really well, but we haven't had that moment for M80. That last round in round number 4 was kind of the one quick little moment that we saw them kind of, you know, just make a decision. They're going to go for it, but like you said, it'll be a very curious point to see if they're just going to keep this slow, methodical play or if they're going to really mix things up. But this is going to be a telling round. Op still in the play here for Slight. Yeah, there it is. That's beautiful. And this M4 able to now complement it too. And now it's about getting these trades. And M80, they're trying their darndest. But, oh, that's some good damage, John. That nade's going to be even worse for Wary too. Slight, he needs to get out of here, man. He's just going to be roasted alive, and it's a barbecue.
Yeah, he was too hesitant to throw the smoke. He waited too long, and finally when he decided to, he was dead. Swisher taking down Infinite over at the back halls as well. So a 3v2 out of seemingly nothing there for M80. Sonic along with JBA hoping to deny them a little more space onto the site. Rek gets spotted twice by Sonic, but he just can't connect the shots. And now with the bomb being planted, they don't have the util to deny it. JBA's holding his ground. They want to try and get this. What a headshot bound towards Sandbags. Now JBA gets the second on a jumping slaxz. Swisher hoping it clutches one out, makes it a 1v1. Sonic is going to get dropped by Swisher, who is the hero in the round. 3K for him. 4th bound for M80, but Wildcard were fighting down to the last frag.
And this is what we were talking about. I mean, this is where JBA did such a great job last time these two teams went head-to-head on a map like Vertigo, and it came right down to him and then just Swisher to, you know, find themselves in these positions, getting multi-kills. And Swisher, I love that reposition. He was able to find that duel, then just went on the high ground. He knew that player was there. A little bit scary because you don't have anything to hide behind, but a job well done. And now we're going to see that first timeout happening here on Vertigo, where Wildcard, they're going to kind of slow things down. They want to tuck things over because their money's not very good here for a gun round, John, but do we see something a little bit more adventurous and potentially a little bit more aggressive maybe?
From Wildcard, yeah, I would think so. We'll see. They've got the 4 USPs, a 5.7. Maybe we'll see some pistol upgrades and some armor as well. And we're seeing Infinite buy the armor. You think, okay, no, he sells it. He says, okay, no, hold on a second. What are we actually doing here? JBA is the raid boss. He's got the armor and the 5.7, and everyone else is going to be on USPs. And they call another timeout. Wow, 2 timeouts burned at once, maybe realizing that this could be a pivotal moment here on Vertigo, even though it's just a pistol round.
Yeah, maybe just to get the comms a little bit more clear, because I mean, this round isn't going to be as critical for the timeouts. It's going to be the following, right? I mean, this is where they're probably trying to talk things over. Okay, like this round, we're just going to do this plan, but the next round, this is what we have to do, and just making sure it's crystal clear. And that again could just be the way Stan wants things to work out. Maybe they want to slow down that momentum a little bit here for M80. There's so many mind games when we see these timeouts, right? But you don't normally see like a double timeout consecutive like that.
Yeah, it's very rare, especially now in MR12. But it did happen. Wildcard trying to figure things out, and eventually they do. It looks like we're going to see more of those upgrades as expected. Everyone has either a P250 or a 5.7, and those 5.7s are exceptionally potent, especially when you close the distance. JBA already pushed in towards T-spawn. No one really realizes this, and I think they just wanted the information. That's Sonic as well. Now they back off, so they've got an idea, of course, that this is probably going to be an A hit, and that would be correct. Thing is, they have to rotate around because there's only one player here. It's Stanislav.
Oh, man. This is a little bit terrifying, though, but M80 putting a little bit more pressure. Mulb's now going to lead this. Oh, that flash. That could be everything, but Mulb's just doing things, and he's able to find 3 and just mops the floor here with Wildcard. I was thinking he could have been gone, could have been a dead man, but instead, he's finding that quad, John, and getting a little hungry for an ace maybe, but no, he's going to hit the grave.
Yeah, Infinite says, no ace for you today. But you will get the round. It's going to be 5-1. in favor of M80. And I mean, it's a good effort by Wildcard, right? They didn't have much money. They made sure that they'd have a buy up in the next round. They tried with the 5.7s and the P250s to make it work, but it's just not going to happen. I think Infinite is trying to chase down this AK, hoping that he finds it on the ground somewhere in this smoke. He's looking around. No AK, no gun, no life. He's dead. And well, it takes Wreck with him at least by doing enough damage to Wreck to get him to drop to dirt. But yeah, 5-1 for M80.
Yeah, really nice lead coming in from M80. And again, this, you know, when we talked about this, I mean, their T side is kind of the bread and butter. This is their 66% win rate on this map. So I'm not really surprised we're seeing a scoreline like this at this moment. But for Wildcard, I mean, we're going to have to see them kind of, you know, dig deep a little bit in the strategy, because they do have the op back out here for Slight. They got all the M4s to complement this too, so we'll have to see what they can do a little bit differently. We saw a lot of aggression in some of these, you know, lighter pistol rounds, but they're trying to see what they can find a bit more aggression on this A ramp, but it's not working out, and some good utility already being placed from M80.
M80? I mean, they've attracted a lot of attention towards that A ramp, and you see 3 players from Wildcard almost fully committed to the ramp defense. And now Infinite backing off a little bit, but yeah, they're convinced that M80 are coming A, and only 1 player at the B site. Although there's someone close by in Stanislav, JBA, will have his hands full should M80 decide to hit here, and they are going to. JBA throws the smoke and the flash, but that won't slow M80 down. He's going to get clothesline more than likely. No! JBA realizes what's going on. He gets 2. Wreck and Swisher drop 5v3, and now so much pressure on for Manx, slaxz, and Malbs, knowing that JBA is behind Pillar and that reinforcements are probably coming through. Everyone's here for Wildcard. Stanislav rings true for 1. Manx goes down after finding one himself, and Malbs is the last one standing, scratching his head, wondering how this all went wrong, Lass.
I think I'm even wondering what went wrong here too, because I mean, this is insane. I mean, JBA had such a good position, grid spam to find that double, and the fact that we even saw that M80, they still played behind the box, and then they were trying to throw some utility to flush him out, but man, oh man, finally we get to see Wildcard getting a little bit of life back into that previous round of round number 7, and that was convincing. I mean, they took that with strides, so now we're talking 3-round differential here between the two. Op is going to be placed here for slaxz, so we both have the ops on each side, so we'll have to see what that's going to be in a full effect for this one, because I don't think we've seen the op out yet for slaxz at all this game.
Yeah, not really. But that previous round was crazy, honestly, because man, JBA coming around that corner, I feel like he's at the disadvantage, but somehow, some way, he gets not one, but both frags and stays alive behind Pillar to put the pressure on even more. He has just been that good for this Wildcard gaming squad. Sonic jumping around, and given that M80 had the advantage because they were going to the weaker site, because Wildcard was so very committed towards that A-ramp defense. Wow, I mean,
just incredible.
That's just a bit of a fumble.
It is. And now mid control coming in from M80. This is nice because they're mixing it up a little bit. Wreck getting caught by a couple different angles. Infinite just above him here. Good smoke getting placed, but it's going to cost him his life. And now he's still playing on the high ground, and trades just back and forth, but he does go in favor here for Wildcard, making it a 3-on-2. Still have Swisher and Mulbs remaining. Bomb's down in the worst position for them right now. So this is just about if one of these players can be able to find a pick, essentially. But for Wildcard, they're just going to play a lot more passive, get that information. Bomb does get picked up, though, so luckily it's retrievable. But what do they want to do with this? I mean, this taking down JBA is going to be important. Swisher has to be able to find this, but he made so much noise, and it's a free and easy one.
I think Swisher fired off a shot, and JBA is like, okay, that's all I needed. And he swings around the corner to find Swish. Malbs alone on an island. A hope, a prayer that he'll be able to clutch this one out. He has slipped her into CT, but unfortunately for him, time's going to run out, so there's no clutch. And now he's giving an audio cue away, so I'm pretty sure Wildcard are going to chase a little bit. They got the money. Did they see the barrel of the gun? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just barely, though.
Yeah, maybe that was just the X-ray fooling me. But either way, a 3rd round found for Wildcard. Malb saves an AK, but everyone else is just going to have pistols or pretty much nothing at all purchased into this round. I think it's going to be the default Glocks with maybe a little bit of util.
Yeah, and it seems like that the B site is kind of the kryptonite right now for M80. It seems like every time they try to contest this, I mean, JBA, again, I know we talked so much about him, but he's sitting at 10 frags right now. He is top fragging on this team, and he's been able to lock things down really nicely. so making things problematic for M80. And that AK is just going to go towards middle. Everybody else is kind of on the ramp. So this is a very interesting setup. And mulbs is going to be that lurk to see if he can find something late round. But, man, there's a lot of reliance here, John. Oh, my.
I really...
JB again.
I was going to say, I love the idea from him to mix it up and go instead from pillar towards that. Wow. Okay, anyway, we'll get back to it because M80 is going to get a couple here and make it a 3v2. JBA dropped, and after that, his teammates fell like dominoes.
This is still a very winnable situation potentially for Wildcard because, again, if they can find one of these duels, this could be really good. And there we go. So Sonic does take a huge amount of damage, though. Going to be switching the op. Bogdan's Law here. 2v2. Kit's still available here for the CTs. Do have double smokes available. No more utility here for M80. So this is about firepower. This is where they have to be able to frag out. The smokes are getting placed. Now the CTs are going to swarm into this. slaxz going to be the first person to contact, and it's good trades, and there we go. M80, keep it alive.
That is an impressive round from M80. Malbs, the only player with a rifle into the round. Everyone Glocks. It was just Glocks outside of the AK, but they used it so well. And you mentioned it, Malbs coming in from mid alone, hoping to catch off Wildcard, being distracted, of course, with the pistols, and it worked. Malbs, I think, ended up with 3 frags in the round. So well done for M80. They double up on the scoreline of Wildcard and end that little round streak that Wildcard put together. But on the other side, they are still going to buy up 3 MP9s, the AWP, and the A1S. Looks like M80 are going back to their default towards ramp now.
Yeah, still putting that op on towards Sandbag too, so this is interesting. Nate actually didn't make its, didn't pop the smoke a little bit. Sonic actually might try to get cheeky and just play in the corner. They haven't done that yet. They haven't put that much aggression on the ramp yet. Very standard spot to clear, but I mean, it hasn't happened yet. So M80, we saw that before. They didn't really clear some corners at times, but now the moment to see. Slight actually changing up his position here too. This is going to be important. If he can find one of these early duels, this can be a really good start for Wildcard.
Oh, smoke pop there by M80, hoping for some information, but Malbs only gets a bullet to the dome, down to 16 HP, continuing to push up. I think Sonic and Infinite have the edge, but no, Infinite is dropped. Sonic has managed to get one, and then Stan and Sonic double swing around that corner. Stan even gets the follow-up. The MP9s are just crazy right now for Wildcard. I mean, Rek and slaxz, I can't even keep up with it, are going to get a couple back to make it a 2v2.
And look at the positioning from Rek too. So he's actually going to go for the, potentially he's going to go for this big flank, but actually no, he's just going to post up on the site. That's fine. Okay. I was thinking he might try to do something a little bit dangerous. I was thinking this is really risky. Now the plant's going to come in. Good molly. Still lots of time here, John. So I like this. They're just taking a lot of their time, their patience on this. Stan just going to clear out mid. This is good. Again, just information, just making sure nobody's hanging out.
The only problem is they don't have kits, so they actually do have to go in a little bit earlier than they probably would like. Sonic, along with Stan, clearing out the space. Stan throws the Molotov, and Sonic's the one on the receiving end of it, dipping his toes a little too far to the right. Stanislaw ends up getting cleaned out by slaxz's AK, and now Sonic, just desperate, has to try and find 2 frags and get the bomb defused. There's just no time without the kit. Maybe he'll find the frag. There's one. Tries to stick it at this point. No, he's just trying to bait out a frag, and I mean, Rek's going to survive. That's going to do it. 7-3 in favor of M80.
And we're getting close to the same amount of scoreline that we saw the last time that these two teams did play each other on Vertigo. So just for anybody's memory, it was a 9-3 that was in favor for M80 when they were on this T side. So we are treading on that, you know, similar path, but not necessarily. This round, I mean, on paper, yeah, we normally would say USPs, probably not a lot that they're going to be able to do, but you know what? I'm going to say that's not true because we did see them win some really interesting and chaotic rounds when there was barely any investment.
That is very, very true. In fact, I think it was that second round, or first round, sorry, that they found it was just USPs, right? Again, or not USPs, but they had pistols only, and it worked out for them. Or was USPs? What am I saying?
Yeah,
I'm questioning myself.
It's okay. Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, this one's gonna be quick.
Yeah, quick and dirty. There we go. 8-3. So nicely done here from M80. Put themselves in a nice position here with the buffer for this first half. So even if they lose this, it could be finishing off the first half with an 8-4. But now, to me, it's a big question. What does Wildcard want to do? We saw many times that Slight has put this AWP towards, you know, the ramp, trying to find that first opening duel. It hasn't been successful. Do we see something a little bit different now? I guess we're about to find out, though.
Maybe some aggression for Wildcard that we haven't seen before. Slide tries it, and he gets one blinded. I don't even know when he got that frag, to be quite honest with you, with everything happening. It's such a frenetic pace to this half. But Swisher does go down and then is traded out by Rec to even out the numbers in a very early first foray. Stanislaw charging up. There's that aggression. I mean, that's some very deep control of the stairs. Rec is kind of waiting for this, so Stan has to be careful how far forward he goes, and it looks like he's frozen in his tracks. It's a good idea not to push further forward.
Yeah, it's a good read from both these guys. Like, I think they've learned a lot of tendencies from each other. And I mean, look at how close this fight could be, but some good discipline coming in from Wildcard. They're not just, you know, swinging aimlessly. This is good. But now, actually, M80 once again will go up ladder. They're going to switch things up back to mid. Manx will lead this charge, and this is the one thing that's been so impressive with M80 is they just kind of, you know, all of a sudden change up their game plan without really much to say.
Yeah, all four players going in towards mid, one hanging back a little bit. Sonic, that's for the util, of course. Sonic reads it well, goes back into CT, fades away a little bit. Man advantage gain. JBA gets blindsided by Malbs, so does quite a bit of damage before he falls himself. I'm not sure if it's going to make much of a difference. slaxz finds the connection on the AWP, but he also takes a ton of damage himself. Stanislaw in a really great position to punish. There's one through the wall. It's the high HP player, Malbs, desperately hoping that he doesn't get spotted before the flank comes through, and he won't. He finds Stanislaw. Infinite now has his work cut out for him, but again, the low HP could help him out. The Molotov, is that going to miss? No, it does bloom around the bomb. Infinite going to go for the fight
so
instead.
Low.
He still doesn't have the kit. He gets one. Looking
my.
for the second. Can't see them. Here's the bullets being fired. Doesn't he have time to even get this frag in the defusal as well? It's not going to matter because he's going to fall all the way to the ground off the top of the roof here as they're going to take this round. M80 that is, and we go to the break. Well, what a turnaround after map number 1's back and forth affair and a tie game going to the second half. This time, 9-3 for M80. Even when it looked like Wildcard were threatening with a chance to take that last round, M80 were able to clutch it out. So they only need 4 more rounds to take us to map number 3 on Ancient, as Rek is going to engage here in the early moments of the pistol round and finding the information for a squad, realizing that Wildcard may be going for a quick push. They don't have to commit to it yet, though. Still plenty of time.
Lots and lots of time. Execute's getting thrown here, but Wildcard, good smokes. Again, just a nice classic smoke wall. They're going to go for the default. Ooh, a little bit of fakerino like we saw before. Instead of the util, look at the flashes. They're just going to swing out to this. Peekaboo a little bit here in M80. They all just fly out of the clown car, and look at that. Down to the 2v1, leaving it to Infinite by himself. Lots of time, though, remain, and does have the bomb with that smoke in hand. So now it's a reset. We can cool the Jets just a little bit here, John.
Jeez. Another wild round here. Rek and Malbs, the last two standing. Infinite's trying to outplay them here in the 1v2. The good news for him is he has the bomb on his back, so he's got a little bit of control to work with here. But time is against him, so he can't continue walking at this pace forever. Eventually, he's going to have to make his move a little bit faster. He's coming up the B stairs. Audio cue is going to come through eventually, but the thing is you get the bomb planted before anyone's nearby. Malb's kind of expecting a player to come around mid, which you would understand, because they don't have much information at all. Infinite. Oh, spot. Did he spot it? I don't think he did. He didn't see the arm, but now he sees Malbs, and he's just going to play the trigger discipline game, saying, okay, where's the teammate? Where is he? Okay. Finally finishes his food there, and he's going to plant the bomb. Rek, last one standing, and Infinite doing a great job here.
Oh, look at the high ground he has, too. He's playing on top of this. The smoke's just covering it, though. Rek, I don't know if he's going to expect this. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah, there it is. He spots it. And now Infinite's still kind of scratching his head like, what is going on here? But it still gets a kill. Oh, my goodness. Flick of the wrist, triple kill with the clutch.
That is so insane for Infinite and very unfortunate on the other end for Rek, because I thought he had it. He saw him, just had to hit that headshot, and instead body shots come through, giving Infinite that second opportunity that you don't want to give a player of that caliber. And he pulls it off nicely. Fourth round found for Wildcard, just the pistol round, and already very exciting stuff coming through from both of these squads. Honestly, M80 should have had that one. And I think Malbs, he got caught off a little bit, waiting over at the boost spot. And, well, I love the discipline from Infinite, waiting and waiting until he's able to pull it off. And he almost got the reverse happen to him. As I'm talking, Slight gets one. Probably going to be a Wildcard round victory, and Slight is just farming away with JBA. Last one standing is Malbs with nothing in terms of health, and he's gone.
Good recovery coming back here from M80, and again, only losing one rifle. Really not much to worry about for any Wildcard fans. So now that scoreline's getting a little bit smaller and smaller here, but it is going to go into the full gun round coming in. M4s across the board. Well, just kidding. FAMAS here as well for Rek. A little bit interesting. I don't know, John, how you feel about the FAMAS, but
oh, I hate it.
I still hate it.
Yeah. You do?
Okay.
Really? You don't love it?
No, I hate it.
Okay.
You hate it too?
I mean, I think everyone does.
Okay,
it's okay. I mean, when you look at it compared to the Galil, I'll take the Galil every day of the week, but
ooh,
yeah, FAMAS is questionable. Malbs want to get nothing. JBA finds the opener, slaxz with the immediate trade, but a lot of damage done in that early battle against Wildcard with Sonic down to 18 HP. slaxz has a pretty good spot here, especially since Slight is choosing to push that smoke. Yeah, all the time, slaxz is going to get the information first off of a pushing Slight.
Well, it's such a good idea too, because again, you have the big advantage to see through the smoke, right? So I mean, it's such a risky play to just walk through it like that. But I mean, they're trying to be adventurous. They're trying to do something a little bit different. Still just over the minute remaining, and still a good utility that is available for Wildcard to kind of flush some players out. But you can see M80, they're just really playing back. I like this again. They do have that molly still available. Double smokes for the retake. slaxz just trying to see what he can find, changing up his position a little bit more. Now the T's are going to cross. Just missing those bullets, too. I thought Stan might have get caught a little bit, but they should be able to get this bomb down. But the HP is looking really good. They have the man advantage here from M80. But what do they do with this? This molly could be everything to push these players back. And this is a little bit scary right now. And there it is. The man advantage comes with a big swing. Stan only finds that first. Sticking the defuse. Looks like they're gonna
wow.
Nice pop of the smoke! Leaving it to that 1v1. It's just the M4 to hit the shot, but ain't gonna happen today. And Wildcard are gonna take themselves another round.
Another one where they were also at a disadvantage for a considerable portion of it. 4v3, HP was down to below 20 for Sonic for a majority of it as well. And they still are the ones who end up coming out on top because M80 gave up so much space, favoring the retake on the A site. Eventually tried to retake it, but I mean, look, the shots were too good. One, for Wildcard, but two, that smoke pop was so timely. The fact they had a nade in that situation left in the bank and they toss it forward, the smoke disappears, they get the frag on the player trying to defuse, and after that point, M80 could never recover. So Wildcard, do not count just yet. That is 3 in a row.
And I mean, now for Wildcard, like you said, I mean, that nade is so important, right? I mean, it was the fact that they were able to get that diffuser that changed everything around. And now the CTs are going to have the double player setup here. Mulbs is going to try to see what he can find with that Deagle. He's someone very scary, but these Mac 10s are a little bit more dangerous right now. The mid execute coming in from Wildcard. They're just going to wait things out. Still a minute remaining. These pistols looking to find something. Desperation starting to seep in just a little bit right now. Right now for M80, and Infinite does take another one away. We haven't been able to see somebody from Wildcard getting taken out yet. They're doing a great job just playing this very patient, allowing M80 to try to make a move, and they're just punishing him for it right now. And the Deagle remaining for slaxz. And now, I mean, he's kind of just waiting things out. Not much to work with. And Wildcard, there shouldn't be a reason they go for the hunt on this. If we can see a rifle picked up from slaxz, that'd be a great thing right now.
Yeah, slaxz, I mean, at this point, might even be better just to keep the Deagle in his hands. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do in this situation. We'll see. Perhaps the chase will come through from Wildcard, although I think, like you said, not necessary to go for it, especially with Slate at $0 in the bank, and they're running Mac 10s right now. Oh, okay. JBA decides, I don't care. Ooh. And he manages to headshot slaxz, who doesn't have any armor at all, meaning the Mac 10's even more potent, and that will do it. Deagle upgrade for JBA. He's happy with the result, and so are Wildcard, who have closed the gap to only 2 rounds. But here come the rifles once more from M80. This is the round where they have to strike true if they hope to push this to map number 3. Otherwise, it's going to be a much taller ask.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, this is the thing we were talking a lot about before for Wildcard on their T side on this map. It definitely seems to be where they play a lot better. I mean, their CT side is such a low win rate, like 33%. When you talk about, you know, pushing 53% on this side here. So this is where we're starting to see it. And I mean, that's where I talked about JBA was last time they played, where is that, you know, loss for Wildcard, but it was a field day for him. He was popping off and he was top fragging pretty heavy. But now M80 are going to have to see what they've learned a little bit differently since the last time they played on this. Yes, they got the win, but they're going to have to see what mistakes they can kind of correct in this one. And this lead is starting to dwindle a little bit, John, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah, M80 is going to have to take control here. I mean, their fate is in their own hands because they got that huge lead out of the first half, 9-3. It's time to put a stop for them to this Wildcard run. See if they can do it. Manx comes around, nice swing. slaxz in the meantime found the shot before that, and it's all M80 over at the A ramp. They find 3 with only 1 on the other side for Wildcard. Swisher's waiting at B, flicks around, misses the shot onto JBA, and Stanislaw opens up the B site completely. Problem is, they don't have the bomb. Bombs all the way on the other side of the map, and that means that this round probably done with only 40 seconds left for Stan and JBA to regain control of it.
Yeah, and let's not even forget, too, I mean, the money situation right now for Wildcard is great. I mean, we're talking 7,600 right now for Stan. Everybody else is sitting in that, you know, mid-5s, high-5s. So this is a good position because they still had Mac 10s, for goodness sake. So, I mean, for them, this isn't really too much to sweat about. It's more about M80, how much they can stay alive. And actually, slaxz gets deleted here. So that off getting dropped, that's not a great position here. Stan looking around to see what he can do, but no, he can't find it. Oh, there it is. I thought maybe it flew off the map, but 4 seconds remaining, and if he can stay alive with this, that actually might be a nice way for Wildcard to take that big investment into this next round.
Yeah, the op helps a ton because Slight was the only low player in terms of money, so Stan throws that right over. Their economy's exceptionally healthy for another 2 rounds even. That's really great news for Wildcard. The bad news is they lost the round, but you're right. I mean, they were walking in with Mac 10s. Wasn't necessarily the most potent hardware in their hands. And if you look on the other side, M80 lost a lot of manpower, 3 players down. Even that final one that was found was actually impactful because they have 2 FAMASs they have to settle for. Yes, they have the 2 M4s and the AK. Those FAMASs might be a weak point. Timeout going to be called from Wildcard. This is their last one. It's a good time to go for it, given that they have a chance to strike back here. But M80 winning the round they had to keep things in their control for now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, I don't know your perception on this, but I mean, I feel like with the FAMASs, I almost feel like the MP9 can be so much more in a map like this because, again, you can get close. An MP9 is really scary, and I think it's still very strong right now in CS2. So, I mean, I almost kind of would like to see that. And also, if they find frags, they would have added more to the economy here. But, hey, we'll see. Maybe they can prove me wrong. I cast or cursed it once, so maybe maybe they're going to prove me and give me a little bit of a lesson here, too. Ooh, interesting setup, though. I mean...
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, like, the only thing I like, it's not even relevant, but the only thing I like about the FAMAS is the sound in CS2. That's the only thing that's improved about it. Everything else is still trash.
Yeah. I could agree with that, John. I do like the sound of it, but every time I use it, I'm like, I don't know why I'm using this.
Yep. There's really no point. Might as well get an MP9 and just get better results. Anyway, back to the action here. JBA and Stanislaw. Nice flashbang. That's a really good one from Stan. A pop flash thrown over, but no one really on the other side to capitalize. This time they will be. JBA going around. Rec doesn't really get blinded by it. A little bit farther to the right than I think Wildcard were anticipating, but that Molotov will force him off the position. Rec back into CT. Lots of presence around this B site right now for M80. In the meantime, Sonic and Infinite are creeping their way forward up that ramp.
Nice little bit of a mix, though, right? The 3-2 split. I like this. Wildcard again. Last time they played, they were able to get themselves a lot of clawback on the T side. And, I mean, that utility is getting very dwindled right now. But that M4 is going to be nice to find the double from Rec. Oh, man. This flash could be everything. Sonic gets blind, but Infinite, he's able to find 2. Excuse me? What is going on? This thing's just going back and forth. Everybody's just fighting, and now Slight is going to try to put this off to work. He's trying to find somebody, but he gets overwhelmed, and there we go. Good reaction, good comeback from M8. It's getting a little scary, though.
We've seen so many rounds like this throughout this series so far, where it's just 2Ks back and forth from each side. And over on Mirage, it was Wildcard who ended up on the winning side of them. This time, it's M80 who are on the winning end. 11-7 now in their favor. Wildcard unable to punish M80's economy and the fact that they had 2 FAMASs walking into that. And that really does bolster M80's hardware. They've got an AK, 2 M4s, and an AWP, along with an MP9 for Manx. So this is already a much better situation for M80 than it was in the previous one, even though Wildcard managed their economy so well that they will have another rifle round come through, this time with 2 Galils, but it's 2 AKs in the op around it. So still a chance for Wildcard to crack onto the scoreboard again and find an 8th here, but they are running out of time.
Yeah, I'll have to see if they still have lots of steam remaining here too. Nice full flash again, like you said. It's not going to really make too much of a problem, but actually Manx, I think he was caught with it, so you can just see the quick reaction with all the utility that he's just burning right away, just making sure he doesn't get overwhelmed. He was expecting some kind of full aggression. slaxz kind of posted up here in mid. Yeah, these nades are really making them overthink this a little bit. Seems like they're kind of edgy. Oh, they're going to go back.
53 seconds. Still time. As Wildcard are indeed going to fall back into the B site, which also isn't that great for them. But if the flashbang is good and the timing's great for them, then maybe they can pull this one off. 4 players coming through, thinking about going for that boost over the danger panel. It's being watched for.
Yeah, this is a stack too, and look at Swisher. He actually goes for the big swing, but even Sonic.
Oh, Sonic! No,
he fell
no!
off. I can't believe it. This is not what you want. Slight does get a little bit of reply back, JBA to help him out too. The man advantage now, somehow, some way, with 12 seconds remaining, is still in effect here for Wildcard, but we got to get moving. And now JBA overextends it, but malbs is able to find 2 more. And now just leaving it down to Slight for the plant to get some money. But now he needs to be able to find some no-scopes. But malbs is just going to do malb things. And he finds himself a triple to push this thing to map point.
Jeez, man, that is wild. malbs with a bit of BM afterwards. I guess it's earned because he's got 21 frags. He has been a monster here on Vertigo, and that is a huge recovery when it looked like Wildcard were going to take the edge. Sonic not helping things by falling off the map on an attempted jump, and the movement just wasn't there. And, well, M80 capitalized on that mistake. 5 opportunities to close out the map and send us over to map 3, which will be Ancient. Here comes Wildcard. They're charging up aggressively, Laz, and I think they're going to try and get into the faces of M80 and win some duels because the hardware isn't great. They need to have close range engagements, but they're not getting any results. malbs and Manx already get 2, 5v3.
And they're just spamming away too. It's Light's actually just going to, again, re-aggress, but look at that. They're just giving up bodies that they can't afford right now. And M80 still have 5 alive. The only player that's taken so much damage is Manx. He's still able to find a kill, leaving it just down to JBA. Look at the position he's in. No utility, a Galil on a 1-on-5. I do not like the odds of this. And he gets caught, and there we go. And M80, they're going to respond back, and they get that second map.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was the convincing Vertigo map victory that we expected to see in the previous series that they played Vertigo on. So that's good to see from M80. And, well, we're headed to map number 3 on Ancient, where I feel like it's probably...